And I really want to just talk about the idea of presence because that is just something that has been really coming forward lately in my own life, as well as like the training that I am sharing with others. And I just finished the 9 weeks of the level one of my training. And one of the bigger takeaways from a few people in the group was this idea of more presence throughout daily life and in interactions and in certain situations, and what happens when we step more into the presence as we're moving through life, right? It's kind of like we're maintaining like the zen of the meditation as we navigate life. And what happens when we do this is that our awareness expands, our ability to connect in with our body and what's happening and the information that our body is sharing with us is more accessible as we move through life. So, in certain situations, when we're feeling the present, we're more connected in with what is happening in the moment. So we're not so distracted in our mind or thinking about, our day or, what we're going to do or rationalizing or analyzing, but we're more connected actually in with our body. And this really supports our nervous system. This supports us in being able to choose, you know, if we want to interact with a certain situation, if it's a no or if it's a yes from us. And so it's so, so important that we are coming back into the present. And the more we connect into this embodied state, the more we can like really navigate life from a really empowered place because we are letting our body inform our decisions. And not only are we in more flow, but we are also connected and more in our power. So I just really want to invite in just continuing to come into the present. So we're in a time right now. We're kind of in between the holidays, at least in America, where we celebrate Thanksgiving, we celebrate Christmas or New Year's or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. But collectively, there is a lot more going on. And I talked a little bit about this last week, and we're kind of in a little bit of like a slower phase of this before we like ramp up again. There's almost like a little bit of like as the ebb and flow, it's like really busy during the weeks of Thanksgiving, and then it's kind of like slowed down a little like the wave. And it's kind of ramping up. More shopping is happening, more plans are happening, kind of the preparation of the end of the year. So there's a lot happening, and the invitation is to continue to come back into the body and invite in that presence, and noticing. So it's really easy to become present and still, when we're in meditation or when we're in our practices, when we're dancing or when we're in a yoga practice or when we're breathing. The idea though is, how do we take that and support us and continue to practice that in our life? So as we're driving, as we're shopping, as we're connecting with family, and continue to really allow ourselves to be present. And this is the true practice, right? It's like, how do we be zen in the chaos? How do we continue to show up present as we navigate lives? We're listening to other people as they're talking, we're listening to our body as it's informing us, because this is going to help us to stay nourished. Because when we're present with ourselves, we're going to know if like we get into a situation and it's actually like maybe going to be draining for us, or it's going to be too much for us in our capacity. And so we can really hone it in and come back into ourselves and be aware of what's happening in our nervous system. And so I wanted to share this because this was something that I noticed from when they were sharing. We did some integration at the end of my training, and the participants were sharing that they noticed they had more presence and more grounding in their life, and they were actually able to make decisions in the moment in a different sort of way, in a more informed way, where they didn't feel like they were forced into a situation or making decisions out of obligation, but really being able to connect into and maybe making a different choice than they would have made in the past. And so just really being aware of like how the body is informing us is incredibly powerful and really supportive, and it's honestly so empowering when we can choose the way we show up. We can choose to participate or not participate based on what we need, and really being in our sovereignty and our authenticity. Um, so I really want to just like invite more and more of this in as we navigate our daily lives. And so, yeah, just so important. And the other thing that came through was like really embodying the confidence and feeling more and more confident. And so I just wanted to share that, we're here in this group, and I really, really want to support everybody in this group. If you have questions, I'm always here to answer questions. So I really love the conversations, and I'm so happy to bring forth the messages that want to come through. And also, I really want this to be a co-creation. So I'm so excited for you to share and ask questions and comment and let me know if you're watching the replay. And I just wrapped up the 9 weeks of my Sanctuary for Trauma Awareness somatic practitioner training, and we're going to be diving into the next cohort in March. And so if you're interested in this, please, please let me know. This is for any facilitators or practitioners who really want to embody more of their skills and the trauma awareness in the healing space, and to connect with a group of beautiful women and be able to practice connecting into your channel, and practice leading, different types of somatic experiences for everybody. So I really want to share that. I'm going to keep it short and sweet today, but I would love to just drop us in to a little bit of a breath together, just to kind of seal in today. I don't do this every week. Some weeks it's always different. So I would just love us to just connect in together, to just slow it down. So if you are available to find a comfortable seated position, and soften your gaze or close your eyes, feeling your sits bones rooted on your chair, your feet connected to the ground, to the earth. Feeling the shoulders soft, the jaw soft. And just taking a moment here to call all of our parts back in here and now. Calling all parts of ourselves into this moment. And just noticing any sensations in the body as you arrive here and now. Noticing your natural breath as you inhale and exhale. And we'll take a couple deep breaths together. Deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale, release. Deep inhale in through the nose. Feel the belly expand. Exhale, release. Send it back to the earth. Feel yourself soften. Deep inhale in. Exhale, send it back to the earth. Feel yourself getting heavy, feeling grounded. And let's do one more together. Deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale, release. And then just connecting back into your own natural breath, letting that deep breath go. Noticing what you feel as you connect into this place of presence. And then when it feels ready, you can flutter your eyes open back into the space. And just taking it in, maybe finding something beautiful in the room to look at, or looking out the window. And just noticing how you feel now in relation to maybe when you hopped on this live or earlier in your day. I feel just this calmness and just this slowing down. So just noticing that was like 3 minutes, So just a couple of minutes to really bring in that centeredness. And we can do that at any time with our breath. So the more we do this, the more we train ourselves and practice. It's that muscle memory. We practice. We do this when we're calm so that when there is chaos, that we can tap more into this more easily. We're expanding our capacity. So thank you all so much for being here. Happy Tuesday. And I hope you have a beautiful day. And if you have any questions for next week, I will be here as well. Thank you.